So since we are in this industry, and smart home and home automation is part of IoT. So we have to study some of the trends and the new technologies, and will be purchased and deployed and in the IoT industry. The obviously character for IoT is what you think and what you get. So what I think and then what I will get. Okay, and then we are talking about IoT that have some two of the very important technology we have to bring mention to all of us. And one is AI, which called the artificial intelligence. Actually, it's copy for the human thinking and the human acting. And another is the blockchains is very good and very good advanced technology will be used for IoT. And now it's also in used for Bitcoins. And now we are talking what is AI. Actually, for example, when we talking about AI, the artificial intelligence, and from the very beginning of the history, and when people want somebody to use some of the tools or instrument to instead people to do something instead of the human, and this is called the AI, the artificial intelligence. For example, if I want to turn off my the lamps here, and in my meeting room, I have to, if in past 50 years ago, I have to go there and then go to turn off the brake, the air brake, to cut off the power. And then, but now we no need to go there. When I can turn off from my remote or from my mobile phone because this instrument can do for me. And this is the first level uh, of AI. I think that there have three kinds of level of the AI industry, what it means. The first one, for example, turn on the lights. I ask it, and then the light is on. I say, turn off the AC, and then the AC is off. And everybody thinks that, and we can acting like the God. There is a night, then the night is on. There is darkness, then darkness disappeared. Okay. And then second level, the first level is that when human and issue an order, and this order will be executed, and this is the first level one. Whatever and we do and whatever we did. And now a second level is that, for example, uh, I ask the Alexa, maybe this robot is called Alexa or something. I say, Alexa, can you give me a glass of water? And then I see the water, and the robot bring the water for me. And this is level one. Okay, every time when I order, it get executed, and then I get this of the water, and this is level one technology of AI. But level two, every morning when I ask it, Alexa, I need a glass of water, then Alexa will bring me some of the hot water. Maybe not too much hot, maybe 40 degree or some degrees, such like that. But if in the afternoon, when I ask it, Alexa, I need a glass of water, Alexa will bring me some water of cool water with ice. So they have difference. The first level, when I ask it, I need a water. Every time Alexa will be bring me one water, but I don't know this water is hot or cool. But now they have option. have option. They have logic because according to the time, according to the schedule. And in the morning, bring me the hot water. And in the afternoon, bring me with the cool water. So they have options. We have options. And then later, and a super advanced that this one will be have a database, will record my habit. So again, now at any time if I ask it, Alexa, I need a glass of water. Can you bring for me? Alexa will talk and answer. You have already ordered 3 glasses of water. Do you really need a 4th glass of water? Then I say, yes, why not? Then Alexa will ask it, should we make a record it? So every day and you will have 4 glasses of water? I say, no, only today I feel thirsty. So tomorrow we go on, like whatever we did, I just drink 3 glasses of water. Only today I need a 4th cup. So now this is, Alexa will have a database, will have a memory to record what I have. And then this will be moved to level 3. That's, and we can set not only the basic logic, but also we can set a schedule. And we have advanced options. When I ask Alexa, I need a cup of water, Alexa will be asked, do you need the cool water or do you need the hot water? And then I say 40 degree. Then Alexa will record. So every time when I come and when I press any of the button or I don't talk to him, and Alexa will come and bring me with a glass of water and maybe at 30 degree, not too much hot or not too much hot, cool. So an advanced system will be a learning system, and the database will be refreshed and get authentication and get updated with the learning future. And this is the AI. So, and later when in the future, I think that in the coming 5 to 10 years, and everybody needed the AI assistant. So the AI technology is a professional assistant for decision making. For example, if I wanted to drive to the hometown, it will automatically generate some of the road map or something like this, and this is called AI. So we will have many of the AI assistants. They are robots, and they will do the consultation for us. So AI is the future, and AI is the future for home automation. And then we are going for blockchains. They have many new established companies and all over the world. And in the past 3 years, they are focused on the blockchains. And even they named one company name as blockchains company. Why? Because it's very so important for the future technology. Actually, what is the blockchains? But if we have bought, I have remember that in 2010, I have bought 1 Bitcoin just in $1. But finally I lost because I forget the password. They have a lot of materials. So I'm lucky to bought or to buy one, but I'm not so lucky because I lost. Okay, anyway, uh, then blockchains basically is called a shared database. This database is totally different from the traditional database because this database don't have any server and it don't have a central server. It's called the distributed system. And the character for this one is the decentralized. So every of the unit will doing act and it will be out. It's a trust system. Will be out authentication by the other units. So it's a multi authentication system. For example, this system is usually be used very commonly used in the bank. If we are using the credit card, we would know. If we and pay the money here and put the money there, and when we own the bank of money, and they will everything will be counted in credit. So if we can understand the credit system and we can understand a little bit about the blockchains and we get the idea. So the blockchains is a multi-authentication system and this system cannot be copied. So if somebody wanted to duplicate something of this one, so cannot. So this system get very good protection. And all the records can be traced. If somebody made a modification for this system, and it will get out authentication, and then can be out traced. It's open system and also is a transparent system. So it's a trust system for the future. And now the digital money and the digital coins and all will be the digital currency will all use these blockchains. And also it is used in IoT industry, used in smart home technology. Okay, let's go back to our topic. Second, so what is G4 brand? And I have received a few of the questions from some of the engineers because they are fresh and new to our system. But the first question they will ask, what is G4? Yeah, I think that usually we recommend that the engineering to read our catalog or read our website, but sometimes they don't have time to read because they are too busy. So I think that's we needed to say to briefly explain what is G4. Actually, G4 is the generation 4 bus system. And G4 Smart Bus, SMesh, and Recent, and the 9, and a series of this name and the registered trademark of G4. And G4 also stands for the system, the technology. So since we have the smart home company, and we have the generation 1, generation 2, and generation 3, and now generation 4. We are moving to generation 5 and generation 6 and generation 7, all like that. But G4 is until now the updated one and also the stable system for smart bus system. And what is a bus system? Later we will talking. And SMesh is kind of what we're talking is technology. I will showing and referring to you another PPT, and it will explaining and how this SMesh technology is looking like what comparable with the traditional ring networkers, server networker, and all like that. So we have many. Okay, now who we are. or who are we? Now we can see this photo is the CEO of Smart Home company. So we need to know a little bit history about the company. So when we take the project, when the clients ask it, where are you from? And from which brand? And what's the mission? And the goal of this company. So you can see that the Smart Industry Group is a group of companies that works together to fulfill one target: the techno lifestyle, product development, and the solution packaging. And our mission and the target, we are committed to achieve the highest standards of techno lifestyle solution and concepts that exceed our customers' expectations while helping the environment and decrease the global wastage in energy and materials. And all this text, actually, I no need to read, but why I read for this one? Because we have a lot, we have the team, and we have the group, and what we are struggling for, and what we are made the effort for, and this is our goal, and this is our target. So give my respect.
عارفة؟ سوي
And okay,
عندي رسالة.
what's your question?
So the record هذا
Okay, yeah, go on. And then when?
ناخذها اليوم.
We'll be talking about the when, and we are talking about our history. Yeah. So the start stage that we are, the smart group was originally established in by the Digicom of these ones. I think that later you can check this history and also in our catalog or in website that you can find all these ones. And we go through this one and then go to next page. Why goes for G4? And this will be actually, this PPT, the first part is too much a little bit like the marketing PPT. But sometimes it's good for the engineer for understanding about this one. And later we can go for practice, and later we go for practice and go for programming and go for all these ones. So why go G4? And we have listed some of the advantages that we think that is good. And then what G4 offers. And we can offer the one-touch solution. Usually for home automation, for controlling, and we have some main parts such like the lighting control, electric curtain control, media control, and AC control, or security, or some system integrations. So you can see that if for lighting control, that we have some of the modules that can do using the relay for on-off lighting control or dimming the lights, and we can control the sequence and the scenes, and also we can change the colors of the lamp. We can change the speed, and we can set a timing and set a schedule, and also with different logics. And this is whatever, and we can do, and we can offer for a one-touch solution. Now, and talking next one. Well, why we put our system there? Usually, they have two places that we can deploy our system, and one is besides the DB, and for some controller, And then for terminals, such like switches or such like the sensors, what we can see is the sensors. Also, we can see the control terminal, such like keypads and panels. But in the DB, and we put some background. What is a DB? A DB is a power supply distribution box. It stands for distribution box for power supply for electricity. Because also some of the engineer asked me what is DB and what is PBX. And the PBX means that the private branch exchange. And the DB is used for power management. And the PBX is used for communication, such like the TV, the telephone lines, and also the network, the internet. And where we put the XBus box, so we put this one and in line with the DB. So we put in line with the DB and then separate it. Oh, somebody waiting. Shadi, can you check that maybe somebody waiting to enter? A DB is a box that will separate it, the AC, the DC from AC. And we put our controllers in the middle of AC and DC. So that make it much safe and economic system. And later, because now we are in the PPT, or somebody is waiting. Hello, Shadi. Can you approve someone? I will check. Just one moment. Okay, let's go on. So the smart bus box will also separate AC from DC from AC to protect the system. Then you can see from that, and every of the channel, and we put protection, and we also put fuse here. And next, then we will have and how a system is working. Oh, who is there? Just one moment. Welcome. And now I see 22 altogether members now in the meeting. Now we are seeing that later I will showing you what a device is looking like and how this one is working. Actually, when we send in some of the messages, for example, if I wanted to turn on some of the lights, but then how the lights to be finally to be take the order and to get it executed, which is called what we say, it's called the protocols. So how the devices talk to device by protocol. When the sender, and if you know some of the protocol, and you will understand deeply about the smart home system, how the system is running, and how the system to be programmed, how the system and in the deep level and the basic level, and on this one, how to communicate it. So for example, if I'm talking with some guys from Portugal, if I cannot understand Portuguese and he cannot understand Chinese, then how can we communicate? So they should have some common languages that both of us can understand. And this language maybe is called English. And English is a protocol between I and between these Portuguese guys. So if I talk in English, he can understand me and I can understand him. But if I talking in Chinese or he talking in Portuguese, we cannot understand each other. So we needed to use our protocols, and for the machines or the devices to understand what this means, which is called a protocol or contract or an agreement. It's like an agreement now. So from the sender to the receiver, usually, firstly, it's like we send some of the letter to one of my friends. I would firstly write my letter. It's called contents, and then give the address to which of the city, and which of the country, and which of the village, and which of the town, and which of the apartment to send this letter. And then after I writing this letter, I give the address, and then packing this one and send to in an envelope. But I don't want somebody to read my letter by mistake. If somebody open by mistake and he can read my message, it's not good. So I made encoding. Only me and only my friends, he can read. And the other one cannot read, even open the email, open the letter. So this is called encoding. So a package, and this letter will be packed as a package and in the envelope. So a package is called the data package to be sent. It will including such like procedures. Firstly, the contents. Secondly, the addressor to whom will be attend and to read this letter or something. And then a third one is protection. It's called the encoding. So if somebody opened this message by mistake, he cannot read the message. Even he read it, he cannot understand what's the real meaning. And then after we finished writing and packing this letter, and we will give this letter and to the courier, maybe to the post office. The post office is called the channel. And the post office, and then later, firstly, for example, if I go to the post office, they will step. It means that confirm, received this message, received this package from you, from the sender. And this is called feedback, the first feedback from the post office, from the channel. He will give some feedback that's confirmed that received this envelope and received this package. And then it will be delivered to the receiver. And the receiver firstly will confirm back to the post office that yes, I have received a package from you. And also, this feedback will be sent back to the sender. Then the sender would know somebody, and my friends already received my package. So when the receiver first receive the package, will have a feedback, a sign back maybe. It's called signature or something like that. And then after receiving this one, firstly unpack, then open the case, open the box, open the package, and then now cannot read it because needed some verification. What is called verification? In case that when we sending something, we must make sure that the post office not get my package, something part of this package not be lost. So the sender will send in this package together with some verification code. And then when we put this code, if it's right, then it means that we received the right package. And also nothing lost. And this is check bit. Also check code the verification code and also code the check bit. And this is the protocol. And after we check bit and check, that's it's also called checksum or something. It's kind of algorithm. And when we check this one, the receiver, and check this one, with the first things to do is decoding. When decode this package, and then the receiver can read the message and get the full content. And then later, we see the message has been executed. For example, if I talk to my phone, turn on TV, and then my message was sending out as a commander and to Alexa or to some of the robots or to some of the devices. And then these devices will give an order to the power on, maybe it's a relay module. And then this message is sent to relay module. And then relay module first will confirm that received this commander and without any loss. And then turn on the TV. But actually, we don't know if the TV is on or not. Because by hardware, we don't know. Because no feedback for the hardware. This is all the smart home system are the same. But we can still know the TV is on. Then how can we know? Then we have some of the measuring tools, such like the sensor. We have the electricity sensor to see if the power is on, that should have some electricity. Because this power, this current, when power on and this they have some current. So we have the current sensor. When the TV is on, the current sensor will detect the current. This one way. A second way, maybe we can use some of the sensor, such like the lux sensor. Because, for example, if it's in the night and it was darkness, but when the TV is on, and then the darkness no more like before now. So the darkness changed. The brightness changed. So the lux sensor will detect on this. So this is the way. The measuring tools, and then we can get this one and get feedback. And actually all the feedback of these ones is getting a software level. It's not a hardware level. So, and this is why we are talking about this one? Because if you understand about the protocol, and you can understand the communication procedures from which procedure and go to next procedure, and then go to next. And then later, when you open, and actually we have a programming software, and a PC-based one, Windows-based one is called the Smart Cloud Configuration. When you press, that have some for advantage for researcher, for developer. And then when you open that window, and you can see many of the codes was sending in and sending out. And then when you understand the protocol, when you read the SBUS protocol, and you would understand, and if it's the hardware issue or the software issue or some other issue. And later, when we get advanced training, and we will explain how the protocol is running, and also by practice. Maybe some other day we will have another training session, and for this one, and how to check the protocol, and how to say the protocol is being executed or not. Okay, and now we are getting some of the ideas on how a protocol is running. Then next, we are going for, we still not ended the 5W and the 2H. And now we in how devices talking to devices, how we work, and then we will say and how much we can do, because some of the clients will also ask how long on SBUS, the length, the communication length, for how long? It's 2 meters or just 1 kilometer or this one. And now we have all this data for you now. Maybe and later you can check. Actually, you can also find you on in our catalog and all these details and on the cable length and in a single SBUS network, or the maximum number of devices on one SBUS, or the maximum the SBUS network bridges, and how many devices we can support. And usually, I remember that yesterday and or maybe last week, and one client asked it, can you tell me my DDP can support control for 2 sets of AC? I say yes, and we support for 8 sets of AC. You can check. You can check it in Smart Cloud if you know how to program. And you can also check that in our catalog. And you can also check in DDP menu. It will all describe all this function and the future. So you can see from here. Okay, and all this data you can read later. I will upload this PPT to Teams later. I will try if this one can get uploaded. Other than this one looking simple, but it's important for all of us, because when you're doing some practice, when you go to take some project, a simple mistake will make a bigger loss. And actually, we have some practice, and we have some cases that's on this. So, and then we are going for this on SBUS of SBUS connectors and how we cabling and wiring. So you can see this yellow connector, which we by the SBUS name, and we called it the 4D connector because it got 4 dimension. Actually, it's a 4-pin connector. Usually, and with the new engineer, they are not familiar with these connectors. They don't know which one is 24 voltage, which one is voltage, which one is for data sending and data receiving. So Now it's a fast way for you to remember and how the sequence is going like that. So when you put your left hand and just pick up one of these connectors, and then the screw faces you, and then you will find that from the first line it's 24 voltage. A second one is D plus, and then D minus, and then G and D. So for what kind of the cable we are recommended, and for what kind of color we recommended, we also received questions from the clients. So, but strictly, and we recommended use the Cat 5e and the UTP cable double twister and the copper 98%. So this one is the yellow one is the S-bus connector, and then the S-bus cable we recommended that usually use the 4-string. But also, we can use the universal data cable, which is called the UTP core cable, and then they have different colors. If you like to follow this practice, and you can do that. And if you don't follow this one, and you must remember that's your own principle, and you should make records so that later when you finish the project, when you go for maintenance, and you can still remember and which one is for what, which one is for what. So this one is important. So do remember. So next, for a little bit for advanced understanding about that how this one is going, and I found this picture, and it is showing a multiple pair cable, the twister pair, and how this is going, and it's just for your reference. And what's the difference between this one and to the other ones for the fiber cable? And then next, well, some of our clients and actually, and I have received some of the messages there from WeChat or from Telegram. He asked, Charles, and how can I purchase an order? How can I get a product recommendation? How can I check all this? And how can I check that? I say that we have at least the 4 ways that we can do. Firstly, we can check our website. We have a series of websites such like www.smartg4canchel.com. Now we have www.smartg5.com or like that. And then you can check all the online database and all the product library, and also the something and the products and ideas, everything that you can check from our website. And then you can find it that instant message for consultants. You can find us in WeChat. We have the WeChat groups. We also have Telegram groups and WhatsApp groups, etc., and all like that. And you can also find us in Skype. But please pay attention to that. We have some time difference. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, early in the morning, I found that a lot of unread messages. They were sending to me in the middle of the night, maybe at 1 o'clock or at 2 o'clock. But usually I go for sleep after 10:30 and at night. So if somebody, you can send us an instant time better that if we can think about that maybe we have some time difference. If not urgent, and we can also send some email, and then we can find it as a support disk and in Google Drive. In Google Drive, and we have the updated for the software, and also for the software, and also for the firmware, and for the datasheet, and for the FAQs and frequent asked questions, and also for the video instructions, and all this one, and devices by devices, model number by model numbers. But we also have very good family members, and if we send it to the groups, and someone will answer your questions, and for the new ones, and then, and we also have the online such like a case showing in Facebook and also in YouTube channels. We have the Facebook channel and the YouTube support channels. And this is the way where you can find us and how to find us. We have in Google Drive a document and with links showing how to before raising issue. But here I will describe here briefly to how to raise an issue. Usually because we are the factory, we have the district geography. We are far away, and also time is different, and also even you go to your distributor, and maybe they have their own business. So it's good that if we can growing up to be a good engineer, and a good engineer, the first things will do some self-checking. And usually we have some of the documents that's in FAQs. It will showing later. We will go on through and on Google Drive and all the documents, how it was going and how it was working. And the documents will showing some general principles when wiring a system, such like a grounded system, and put the fuse, and also put the protection, contact protection, and all like this one. And then we have the FAQs and the firmware and the menus and all these ones. But once that's all this way, you cannot find any solution. Maybe it's really some issues for some bugs of the product. Maybe the firmware issue, maybe hardware or something. And then if you ask it for our support team, and you'd better to call for your device's firmware version, and also the software, smart cloud software version, and the operation system, Windows 7, Windows 10, and 64-bit version or 32-bit version. And also, and you'd better to let us know what you have done for this one, and what you think that it's a bug or some kind of issue, or only a function or something, so we can fast help you. They have another way, and you can send the emails and to describe that's all how this issue is coming and how what you do. But better that if you have some video links, so we can see clearly and how this one was going, and then we can find a solution faster. Now we are almost finished this PPT. Finally, we are going for practice. The practice for the new freshmen, for the new beginners, is in how to make a simple XBus network. But usually we think that's what kind of devices we needed to make a simple S-bus network. As from the list, we think that the first one is a controller. If we control lamp, that we need maybe the relay module just for turn on and for turn off. If we have we needed to do some dimming function, then we need some dimmers. Also, if we control LED, RGB, W, or like this, change colors, and each we have different function module. So we choose different function module and then to fulfill the different needs and the commands and demands. And then second, we need the S-bus power supply. It's adapted from 220 voltage or 111, 110 voltage from American, from European style. It's both different. Usually, the adapter can adapt it from the high voltage to the low voltage, from the AC to DC, and we can supply such kind of the adapter. The adapter is for S-bus power supply. And many new ones is asking about why we needed this 24 voltage adapter. We have the 220 and voltage. Why we still need this one? I think this is a good question. When the first time I see it, I also don't understand why we need this one. And we needed this one because that's every of our devices, it's getting inside the chip. And the chip is like a CPU, to running for computing, to running for algorithm, to running for everything. But this one can only to be powered and it can be worked by 24 voltage and DC. So that's why this is the reason why we are using this one. A third, the control lamp. Maybe we needed to control lamp, or we needed to control some other things. And so this is load, maybe we called, and maybe we called if we have some other things. The first, we need the S-bus cable connectors similar together, and then we can turn off the nodes, but still not finished. We needed the protection, such like the L brake, and for fuse protection, for contact protection or something. After finish this PPT, I will show you one by one. And then we have some control terminals. Every time we cannot only come to the controller, come to the relay module and to turn on and turn off the lights, and we still need something more, such like the keypads, the wall switches, and also the control panels. And we can turn on and turn off the lights from the keypads and from the panels. And also, if we wanted to make a control from your PC or from some smartphones, then we needed the gateway. A gateway means that such like, for example, RSIP. RSIP means that our system is based on serial bus 4085, like this one. But this is the device is talking serial bus, it's an interface, and then based on this interface, they have a protocol. But usually we say this protocol based on RS485 protocol. But actually, RS485, which is the interface. And then from this interface will provide some, it's called a bus system. And this bus system and the devices can talk to another devices. They can send a message and receive a message, and they can do the execute something or like that. But when we want to run this some procedure and run some commands from PC or from smartphone, they run different protocol. So we need a translator, such like a translator. If my colleague over there, he cannot understand Chinese, or you cannot understand Chinese, but he can only talk Chinese, and then we need a translator. And RSIP is like translator. IP stands for TCP/IP, which is the protocols that will be used for communications between computers and smartphones and like that. And TCP/IP protocol, and also the UDP protocol, and also P2P protocol like that. And the audio can also be actor. The audio is our only a few of the items, maybe less than 5, 8 or something. And the last one, we also, if we need some other function modules, and we can put it on the S bus, such like some of the sensors, some other things, music controller, and also such like the dry contacts. For example, if I want to control the door to be automatically on and automatically off, and then we sometimes recommend it to use a dry contact. The dry contact, the S-bus network can detect the dry input. The dry input, they have two stages. One is for on, two is for off. It's called NO and NC, normal open and normal closed. Okay, and later we will go for practice for this one. We will end of this PPT, and later we will go on this one, and we will have a 5 minutes break. 5 minutes break, and then we will come back. Thank you all.
Thank you.
I will be back in 5 minutes. Now we are back, and before we go for practice, and then we are going for to see and the Google Driver. Just one moment, I need to run a VPN. Now the VPN is working, and we will show you that firstly on our such like the YouTube. You can see we have the YouTube channels. We will upload more and more and YouTube videos for the instruction. And also for this one, the driver. The Google Driver, and we can see the G4 take data, and you can see from this such like all the software you can download and relevant software with the latest updated version that you can download from here. And also for the menus, and we have the user menu, program menu. If the latest menus, and we'll put here a menu updated, and then after some of the days, we will put to each of the function menu. And also you can check here the FAQs that have devices by devices, such or some functions that you can check. For example, the IR. You can find from here that's the IR code sequence learning reference, and also how to configure IR micro or something. They are not a longer menu, but short instructions. And this is FAQs. And we have the project library, and all these ones and is from you. For example, for violin, and we have some violin photos, and also for the engineering and also of some of the project photos, and you can check the PBX and the DBs, the violins, and thanks for the G4 engineers, and they are bringing so much of this very good experience for all of us. And also provided by some of the clients, such like Mr. Amir from Iran, and he provided some of the designing. And we have also designing from Egypt and from Russia, and which you can check from there. Now the internet seems a little bit slowly. So you can see the diagram in CAD by Mr. Ramdan Hassan, and also by the Russian guys. His name is Evgeny Sutov. So when you have the AutoCAD, that's a software, and you can download this one, and then this is will be good for your design reference. So we also have the firmware. You can see from here, that's for each of the firmware, you can find it that's something like RSIP3. You can find it that's the latest version from here. And then you can check if your version get the latest one. And also for Smart Cloud. Smart Cloud software, because we are developed new feature and also developed new products. And when a new product is getting updated, and then we will get update for this one, for Smart Cloud version. So this is the frequently updated software, and this is the main software for programming. We also have some the software for smart hotel. The smart hotel is a very essential part for our smart products. And you can find also here the apps, the G4 apps, and the iOS, and also the Android apps. So this is the G4 apps, and you can find it as different version and developed by different engineer. Such like this one, SMN version is developed by the Indian SMN version team. And also we have the Persian version and the factory version and different versions, and you can choose one to use to your project. And also in YouTube, you can find it that the Smart G4 channel, and we have some cases studies and like these ones, and how to connect programming DALI bridge, and all these ones. You can find it that's one by one. We will upload more, and you can find it in YouTube and step-by-step demonstrations. And this is our main website, smartg4control.com. And you can find that if we have any latest products or something, and the technology and the products source, and also for the registration for how to become a dealer or how to become a distributor, and how to get the partnership and all these ones. And you can find it that if you need some training request, and you can submit here. And you can also download the catalog or something. And you can upload your work to our driver. And this one is that we can get from the website and from the Google Drive, from the YouTube, and also from our main website. And you can also find that our Facebook support page. And also in Google Drive, and we can find that some of the videos for you to download, such like the videos and the links I have given to you, and then you can check in Google Drive. In the FAQs, we have two important documents. I mention to you that this is very important to reader. The first one, this one is the software app download link directly, and you can follow the link inside and then to go there. And then this one showing the Pro SBUS installer and good practice and initial rules. You can see like this one, such like grinding system. And when something you find this one in red, it's very important for pull protections. and the cables and topologies, and also the connection to S-bus, and then these ones. After that, you would see we have another document showing how to running for before raise for an issue or something, and also in FAQs. Because we in the factory we have a different time between you and me, and then so these links may be useful for you, and you can check all these ones. Okay, we go back to demonstration, and I will show you how the device is looking like. 我们把那个三头，然后拿过来，然后对着它。把它下来。Now, what we see is when you get the package.
Charles, we can't hear you.
So you cannot see the devices, right? Just one moment. I'm changing the camera. Just one moment. Now,
这个话筒，所以那个麦嘛带着，然后就可以说话，就可以听着那种。
这种但是这种效果要比那种。Now we can see. Can you see this one clear? Hello?
Yes, clear.
No,
Right.
no.
Not clear.
No,
It is
Mr.
not
Charles,
clear.
not clear.
Just one moment. Now we have this one. You can see that hello.
Yeah, Mr. Charles.
Hi. Wait. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Charles.
这个短见了，这里。
哦，那你断电没关系。嗯。
电源断电了。可以了。这个是那个。
这里。
半个插孔断呀。
这个没有，这个没有插好。对。Now we can see from here. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear
Yes,
you,
we
Charles.
hear you.
Charles, what do we need to do with the QR code?
没切换到那个。
Mr. Charles, I think you can continue. We can make out.
Charles, from our side, it looks like you.
I think we should all join after a small break till this gets rectified. Maybe post lunch, if everybody's okay.
Sorry, say again.
I feel we should reconnect once this is figured out. Meanwhile, people can take lunch.
Charles, what's next? Is it finished?
I think Charles has a little problem with his microphone. He will be back soon.
Yes, sir. Mr. Shadi sir, he's figuring it out. Maybe we should reschedule a meet after 2 hours.
Okay, okay, okay.
Please
I
check
get.
with everybody else if they're all okay with it.
I will speak with Charles before and maybe to arrange a new meeting.
Sure. That would be great.
I will let Charles came again.
Charles, still no microphone, no audio. We can't see what you're talking about.
Yes, I'm talking with him to unmute himself. Don't worry.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Now I'm I will start from where beginning. Okay, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry that now I put mute. I don't know why I put mute. So we are needed to from very beginning.
Charles, start from the
I
beginning.
see the messages. For that one, if we have already take the level 1 training session, and you don't need to listen because it's just an old story, and we are talking this way. So, Mr. Spencer, later I will upload the PPT to Teams software. And also this is the first time I'm using these Teams and for all of you. So I'm sorry for spending too much time. And now, firstly, from the box, you can see this box, they have a label. The label will have our modern numbers. You can have these ones. It shows in that's the relay 12 channel 10 ampere. And then this one, you can see SB-RLY 12C and 10 ampere, and then DIN SB means that's the S-bus products. It's bus connected products. And then you can see RL1 means relay module. And 12C means that this module will have 12 channel. And then each channel is getting 10 ampere as rated current. And then DN means DIN railed, that you can mount this one and in the box and put this one like this one. You can also check here our website. That's from here, smartg4control.com, like this one. And when we open this one, you can see you can still find that this label, and it will quote our number for this one, for the model number. And also I forget something, that in here, you can find it that this is the firmware version, such like this one, V1.29, means that the firmware version is 1.29, this. And then, we can have this one for also this mark, the round one, and this one is for production data. And then we are coming from this one, come back here, and you can see 12 relay module is the typical module that stands for the 19 controls, because it gets stable and maximum to 10 ampere for each of the rated channel power current. And then you can see this is stands for C1 means that's channel 1. C2 means channel 2. And then this one is getting 12 channel. And then this one is for broadcasting. Broadcasting, and when you are running smart cloud and you don't know the device ID, when you push this one, and then you can find it that the device ID will be found and in smart cloud software. And this, when we are go on to smart cloud configuration, later we will explaining on how this one was working and how to find it. And you can find that each of these one get S-bus network. If you cannot make sure that your S-bus well sequence is right or not, you can read it from here and try to see. You can see 24 voltage plus and D plus, D minus, and G and D. And this is from this side. And from another side, we also have S-bus, the male contactor. And this is a female one. And also they have another one for expandable. For this one, you can see S-bus, and you can connect it also on this way. So they have 3 ways for connection. And another one is for this. This module supported for multi-input and multi-output. Why? Because you see, each is getting 1 in and 1 out. 1 in and 1 out. In is from input of the AC, the power supply. If you put the 200 voltage AC input and the output is the same. If you put such like a DC 24 voltage, and it will get 24 out. So you can put a different phase and a different voltage. But when you use the common input sources and you can unite it all in together, like whatever I will show you later. And then later I will show you how to run this one connection. 镜头走哪里去？我们要不要把这个搞了自参头？在你那。
Excuse me, can you maximize the screen, please? It's small.
Now you see, I have a small demo bag, in demo board actually, and the demo bag is much neat than mine. So this is my desk, just another side. You see this one? I have joined this all together because we have the same input. And the input is from this one, it's 220. And this one is going for the outlet. So as what we see in the PPT, and then this one is a simple one, that's a simple S-bus networker. This one is an L brake. And when you turn off and turn on, and it will turn on and turn off all the loads. And when I turn on, and it will be on. And I put all the nodes and all the lamps here. And also I have a very bigger lamp for you later to make it clear. So now it's much clearer. So now you see this, why I can turn on from here and of these lights. Then we can see the wiring. And then here, and we have the inputs, and this one goes to 220, goes to outlet over there. We get power input here, and then through this air brake, and then we are output here, and this one is for neutral. Another one is for input sources for the relay module. And we separated from here, this part is AC. And then another part, and when we come back for DC. So you can see the output coming here. This one is for input, and then the output coming here. I junked here. And then this one is the output 9 for directly going for here, for the lamp. So you will find that the difference between the normal electric board and between the smart one, because we just put this one on the meter, and if for the normal one, and you are just put this L brake, maybe the switches directly, and this one go to the load, and then another black one, and it goes back to the neutral, and this is the neutral wire, the black one, and it goes to the neutral. So when we had all these ones here, this is a simple network, almost finished. But you find that what's this for? And this is the cable manager, because since we are using the S-bus, maybe they have or not, and then we need to link them together. And this is a good way for cable manager. They have no PCB inside, but just for connection. And it's good for you, and no need to do any wiring. You just put the socket and put the connectors and inside. And then this one. Then this one is adapter, which supply for 24 voltage and 2 amp, which is for running the chip inside. Running the chip inside, and for when you do the bus communication, and we need these ones. And then now, and we almost we are finished this one, and then we are going next step. This one is called the control panel, the keypad, and which it's the typical one, and we also call this one DDP, Dynamic Display Panel. It stands for this English. And then I will go to find another S-bus, and then showing you how this one was working. So now this is a simple S-bus connector. You can see this one. Actually, from this side, and this is 24 voltage, and this is D plus, and this one, the third one is D minus, and then this one is D and D, G and D, and like that's the common phase. And then when we connect it to this one, and then another connected to this panel. And all these ones are being real. So when you take it together, you can put link, and then you can put all these ones to lock. And this is our pattern for lock this one, and then lock to the system. Now you see this one is. Now you see this one is on. So how can we use this keypad to control that one? For example, if we are turned on, now is no response. So we are showing you next step for this one, how to do hand programming. For example, when we long press this one, you can see this one here. This is the LED, the blue one. So you see this one is getting, just one moment. So when this one, when we press, it will get a flash. So now it's not fast flash, and when we slowly flash, and then we press here, it's hand pairing. Now we can turn on once. But just now you see that one is going flash very fast. We try another one. For example, this one to blink very fast. We just hold on and then hold on. So you see first this one and then fast blink. When I press this again, so and this one, and this one, this one, this one. When I press here, you would see what happened. Actually, we have made videos on these ones, and you can check it in the Google Drive. And we no need to use the computer, but we can use this one for, you see, this is group control. It's like some scenes and moods. This is the second way for us to make a control. This is for single channel control, and the first one is for single channel control, and the second one for group control. Actually, we say combination on off. And then we can have a third option that we can set this one if we set channel 11 and channel 12 as the curtain model control model. So when we turn on channel 11, is to open the curtain, and then channel 12 to close. So we are just also all like this. Long press this one. So slow blink and a fast blink. And then you see this two is blink. So when this two is blink, and we can press any of the button here. Now with the third button. You see the difference between there. When I press here, you see this one is on. And left, right, left, right. Because this when you set as curtain model, you cannot open and close at the same time. When I press open, and the other channel will be closed. So this is for curtain control. So now, we finished this practicing and for this wiring, but before we finish, that's one thing we need to bring your mention for notice. That you need to put every channel to be protected, such like this one, the contactors. So this is good for the system, also good for you for maintenance. And if some of the channel get damaged, and you could check for which of the reason. And thank you. Do you have any more questions? You can ask me. 然后我们再转回来，然后这个导致内测手他们可以就放在这上面。 Now I'm back. We almost finished this first season 1 online training. So do you have any more questions? Our video is not clear. Now can you hear the voice? Hello? Oh, good. Thank you, Roger King. So, do you have any questions about today's this training? Because this is first time and we are doing this online training. So do you have any questions? And you can send to me. And later, and we can, I will upload the PPT of today. So if you have no more questions, I think that's, and you can unmute the microphone, then you can speak. Then we have the single line join of the termination of devices demo just now. It's in the PPT. So in the PPT, and you can find it, that's that page. You're welcome. And you can talking, and I think that's so. This team's the software is good. So any other questions? Actually, that's one you can find in the PPT. I show you which page you can find. That's the last page. So do you think that's is this one, and this one get the join for that? Okay, thank you.
黄老师，
差不多，等一下的时候看看他们还有什么问题。
这全是新客户是吧？
啊，本来有70、80个报名，有些人时间不够，时间长，然后他们照录像，先看。14个，
在线的才14个。
之前有2个已经，后面的他不。Okay, if no more questions, and we end this session now, and later I will upload the PPT. Thank you all. If you have any questions, and you can send these messages here, and I will read your message. And what's your suggestion for our next online training, you can also send the suggestion for me. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Have a good day.
देखते ना प्रिंट हो जाता है ऐसा देखिएगा वो लड़की के साथ खड़ा हुआ यूं देखेगा इधर देख ले इधर